This is part 2 of our notes for November 13th. We're going to take a look at what's called the triangle angle sum theorem. We're just going to introduce the sum theorem today because this is, I believe, something that you already know. Again, we're reviewing some old ideas, things that you've practiced with in other classes, previous grades. And then next week we'll prove the theorem and use it in ways that you may not have used it before. Theorem 310, the triangle angle sum theorem, says that the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Again, probably something you already know. We're just stating it formally today. And then Monday we will prove that theorem so that it is not just something we're telling you, but something that you have seen why it works the way it does. For today, we're going to practice using this thing. No matter what we give you, no matter what the triangle looks like, all three angles always add up to be 180 degrees, whether it's a right triangle, an obtuse triangle, or an acute triangle. So we're going to use that fact, and in all of these triangles, we're going to solve for x. So step 1, let's write an equation that deals with that theorem. It says the sum of the angles equals 180 degrees. So I'm going to take the two angles I know, add the one that I don't know, and it equals 180. And please forgive me for not writing the degree symbol down every single time. We'll put it on our final answer. Though actually we don't need to, because if you look at the picture, the degree symbol's already there, and we are solving for x. So the sum of the three angles is 180. Let's solve that equation that we just wrote. So that would be 83 plus x is 180. Subtract the 83 from both sides of the equation. And we get that our x is a 97. Once you get the linear equation written, or the equation in one variable, I should say it that way, then it's just solving the equation. So the new part, the part that goes with the theorem, is getting that triangle analyzed, writing the equation to begin with. All right, practice again. All right, we have three angles. One angle is 32 degrees, one angle is x, and you remember what that marking means in the corner, the little box? I hope so. That means that that angle is a right angle. So I'm going to put in my 90. Now here's where some of you may choose to shortcut it a little bit. Because if we know that that one angle is 90, did you catch that that means it leaves 90 degrees for the other two? So if you wish, when you see that right angle, you may just simply start at that point, because we know the other two angles have to equal 90 degrees. And then solve for x. This is good practice for us. This is why we practice so much at the beginning of the year on solving equations. All right, and our x is 58. And example 3. Oh, this gets a little more interesting, doesn't it? This is our third and final example for the day. No matter whether you have an expression for an angle or just the x, you're going to do it exactly the same way. You have three angles. Those three angles should add up to be 180 degrees. That's right. So we write that equation. You can leave those parentheses on. You can take those parentheses off. Let me get my 5 back in there. The parentheses are not necessary. They're just there to show that that 2x plus 5 represents an angle measure. So now we simplify. Let's see, for those of you, if you don't have a calculator, which I bet most of you do, remember you're going to add like terms. Let's see, that's 22, 12, 142 if we combine those constant terms on the left-hand side of the equation. Now that like terms are combined, we'll subtract the 142 from both sides of the, whoops. Did you catch the mistake I made? I'm thinking ahead. Sorry about that. Let me put the 180 back in. There we go. Now, subtract the 142 from both sides of the equation. We have 2x equals 38. And then divide both sides by 2. X equals 19. There is our answer. Now, how could we check that and make sure that we haven't made a silly little mistake? Well, hopefully you're already thinking in your head, well, plug that 19 in for x and see if it works. So that's 38 plus 5, that's 43. And if we add 43, 39, and 98, let's see, 9 and 3 is 12, plus 8 is 20. There's 7, 8, 9, and 9 is 18. It checks, because we should come up with 180. Don't forget, you can check every single answer. All right, now that you've watched this video and you've taken some notes, remember, you're still building your notebook, even though you may be working from home. You're still building your geometry notebook. That way, when you take exams, you have your binder to reference. Now that you've done this, you've got a Delta Math assignment on Canvas. Good luck. Hope to see you soon. And as always, if you have questions, send me an email.